This is the untold story of women and Tai Chi. Gender and women in Tai Chi Chuan. Sex, lies, and fireflies. Besides the fact that men can urinate and write their name, or at least their initials, in the snow while standing, and women generally cannot do this, there are a few other differences between men and women. Besides the difference in genitalia, in general, men have different musculature and pelvic structure than women. And women react to spatial relationships differently. Women also tend to have better memories than men. The way men and women process information is different based on structural differences as well as chemical differences, i.e. hormones. Other differences come out of cultural and historic biases and who has held power in society. The fact that there is a separate women's world chess champion and a man's world champion is not based on one sex having a mental superiority, but instead is linked to the same cultural and power structures that did not allow women to vote, hold office, or even own property. Except for a few societies, family structure has been patriarchal, and government and religions have followed that model. Almost universally, men have been in charge, and for a long time. Tai Chi is a martial art. Let's start with the beginnings of Tai Chi Chuan. Despite the fact that today there are different styles of Tai Chi, there are also differences based on intentions. Some practitioners focus on mind-body exercises. Others aim at exceptional performance. But the roots of Tai Chi Chuan lie in self-defense and martial arts. Traditional gender roles held that women were nurturing and acted as wives, mothers, and housekeepers. Queens was a title earned by marriage to a king and usually did not mean power or the right to rule unless it involved the death of the king. Men were hunters, kings, fathers, warriors, farmers, politicians, and rule makers. Of course, there has been exceptions and exceptional women. Women who have risen above and beyond the traditional bounds of deference and servitude. Women warriors included. Women like Fu Hao, who was a general in the Shang dynasty, who led her army to victory over bitter rivals, the Tu Feng, at the end of the Bronze Age. Fu Hao is also the inspiration behind one of the moves in the white crane Taiji form. Fu Hao ties her sash. On the subject of Wushu, legend has it that a form called Fuji Yen white crane was developed by a woman named Feng Qinyong. A Buddhist nun named Ning Mui developed the Wing Chun style of Kung Fu. There were also women like Qing Shi, who was the most successful pirate in history. Qing, at the height of her reign, ruled over a network estimated between 20 to 40,000 pirates and merchants. Qing was so successful she retired in 1810, and despite losing a battle, her last battle, she won amnesty for most of her men, and she retained her wealth and status. Unless you think Qing Shi hid in her cabin while the men fought it out, check out the stories and her portraits and the drawings from her of the time. She's usually shown with a sword by her side and a smile on her face. Qing Shi was considered ruthless and cunning, but she also had a sense of honor and developed and enforced a code of conduct amongst the pirates she commanded. There have been women who fought with and sometimes against the highly noted samurai of Japan, and several were victorious. The term Onna Bokesha is the female equivalent of samurai. Tomogozan and Nakano Takeko were two notable women warriors in early Japan. From Artemisia of Kara to Joan of Arc in France, from ancient historical figures to Russian women snipers in World War II. Surprise! Women can be skillful fighters, generals, and rulers. Tai Chi Chuan is an ancient form of martial arts, and it has several creation stories, one of which includes a monk observing an epic struggle between a crane and a snake. The monk suggested imitating nature as forms of self-defense. The fact that it was a monk shows that early on Tai Chi had a connection to spirituality, philosophy, and monastic orders, most notably Taoism and Buddhism. In olden times, even monks had to defend themselves. Imitating nature and animals makes sense in self-defense, but following that line of thinking when it comes to mating, in some cases it could be quite dangerous for the male. Praying mantis, which there is also a kung fu form, is a species of insects where during sexual intercourse the female often bites the head off the male as he completes his business. Black widow spiders also sometimes devour their mates, and some species of female fireflies use deception in their code that they flash to attract males. The blinking lights are supposed to indicate the species of firefly and sexual readiness to amorous males. The females trick other species to follow their false signals until it is too late, and the males meet an untimely death at the hands or appendages of the females. Female and male octopi have also been known at times to not be very fussy when it comes to either eating or attracting their sexual partner. Love is fickle. Imitating nature is not just in regards to self-defense and mating, but it can also be just with living natural things. Natural things such as fire, water, metal, and earth can also be imitated to some extent. There is a view most ancient and tribal that all things, even rocks, water, fire, and thunder, are alive, and there is no randomness. Changes occur as living things interact and constantly trying to maintain balance. Copying nature or duplicating its successes also needs to take in consideration that nature can be a ruthless killer. Survival of the fittest, with prey and predators, with earthquakes, typhoons, and floods, with all the progressive and degenerative aspect of aging. C'est la vie, such is life. When looking to reproduce, animals seek mates that have one or more of the following: the brightest colors, strong musculature, the fastest movements, the one who can build a better nest, who can demonstrate skills for caring of the young, sing the better song, accumulate the most wealth or valued materials as perceived by that particular species. And to appear that one has these attributes, there is often deception, manipulation, or exaggeration. In this respect, humans have imitated nature very well.